don't think either one of us knew that Kirk was going to be here.
Kirk and Jack are friends, so obviously you know Kirk is going to be here, and what if Rashida is here?
Obviously we didn't, though.
You just need to stop popping up, like...
Do you know me?
No, I don't know you, and I don't want to know you. I don't know you.
I
don't want to know you.
She doing too much, dude.
I don't want to know you.
Me no care.
Oh, you back up.
Spice and Jasmine Washington's fiery showdown on live TV has left fans buzzing and castmates stunned. The explosive altercation between the Jamaican dancehall queen and the love and hip-hop Atlanta star is already being called one of the most shocking moments in the show's history. But what really happened to spark such chaos? And what was the breaking point that sent Spice over the edge? Let's find out. The gathering began with an undercurrent of tension in the air. Spice, known for her bold personality and fierce energy, appeared visibly stressed. As a global music icon balancing her career with the intense drama of reality TV, her plate was already full. Add to that the constant scrutiny from her castmates and fans, and it was clear she was a ticking time bomb. Entered Jasmine Washington. Jasmine has long been a polarizing figure on Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta. Since her debut, she's been at the center of controversies, from her connection to Scrappy to her bold, no-nonsense attitude. While some admire her straightforwardness, others view her as a troublemaker who thrives on conflict. This dynamic made her an unwelcome guest at the gathering, especially for Spice, who was already feeling the weight of her own personal and professional pressures. From the moment Jasmine arrived uninvited, the atmosphere shifted. She entered the room with confidence, but her presence immediately unsettled Spice. Weeks of unresolved tension and subtle jabs between the two women had created an undercurrent of animosity. For Spice, Jasmine's arrival was the spark that ignited the fire. It all began with a seemingly harmless comment from Jasmine, but for Spice, it hit a nerve. To others, it might have been an offhand remark, but to Spice, it felt like a deliberate provocation. Her response was sharp, her tone making it clear she wasn't in the mood to play nice. Jasmine, never one to back down, fired back with her own biting retort. The exchange quickly escalated, with both women's voices growing louder and their words cutting deeper. The room's energy was electric. Castmates exchanged uneasy glances, unsure of how to intervene without becoming targets themselves. The argument spiraled, each woman unleashing weeks of pent-up frustration. Spice's voice grew sharper, and it was evident she was no longer just reacting to Jasmine's comment. She was venting her emotions, frustrations, and stress from everything that had been building up. Jasmine's retorts were equally fiery, her words calculated to push Spice's buttons further. Then it happened. In the heat of the argument, Spice's emotions boiled over. With a swift motion, she slapped Jasmine across the face. The sound echoed through the room, silencing everyone. Castmates froze, their expressions a mix of shock and disbelief. Jasmine's hand flew to her cheek as she stared at Spice, her eyes wide with a mix of hurt and anger. For a moment, the room was completely still. It wasn't just a petty argument anymore. This was a line crossed, a moment that would be remembered as one of the most dramatic in Love and Hip-Hop Atlanta history. Even Spice seemed momentarily taken aback by her own actions. The silence was heavy, broken only by Jasmine's incredulous words, "Are you serious right now?" Her voice trembled with a mix of disbelief and fury. The immediate fallout was chaotic. Rashida, always the voice of reason, stepped forward to mediate, raising her hands to create space between the two women. "Y'all need to calm down," she said, her tone firm but concerned. Carly Red chimed in, reminding everyone of the cameras rolling. "This is too much. Think about the bigger picture," she urged, trying to bring perspective to the tense moment, but the damage was already done. Social media exploded as clips of the altercation went viral, sparking intense debates among fans. While some sided with Spice, praising her for standing up for herself, others condemned her actions, arguing that violence is never the answer. The hashtags #TeamSpice and #TeamJasmine began trending, with fans passionately defending their chosen sides. This moment was more than just a dramatic TV segment. It was a turning point for both women and the entire cast. As the dust settled, It became clear that the confrontation had far-reaching implications. Spice and Jasmine had crossed a line, and the fallout would be felt for weeks to come.
Like you're the first woman that's left with 2 children. I've been doing it for 14 years.
I've been doing it for 16.
Okay, with your
16
son that
as a
don't like you.
Spice has been handling some serious challenges. Between maintaining her international music career and juggling the intense dynamics of love and hip-hop Atlanta, it's clear she's been under immense pressure. Add to that the relentless scrutiny from her castmates and fans, and it's no wonder tensions were building. Known for her strong and confident persona, Spice is often seen as a resilient figure who can handle anything. But even the toughest personalities have their breaking points. Behind her bold attitude is a woman managing stress from all angles, and this confrontation seemed to be the result of all that pent-up frustration. Jasmine Washington, on the other hand, has a knack for stirring things up. Since her introduction to the group, Jasmine's history has been anything but quiet. Her connections within Atlanta's social scene and her reputation as a divisive figure have made her a lightning rod for drama. While some appreciate her straightforward nature, others see her as a troublemaker who thrives on conflict. On this particular occasion, Jasmine's uninvited arrival at the gathering immediately caused unease among the cast. For Spice, who was already grappling with her own personal struggles, Jasmine's presence felt like an unwelcome intrusion. The tension between these two women didn't come out of nowhere. Weeks of subtle jabs, unresolved grievances, and personality clashes had created an undercurrent of animosity. Though they had managed to avoid a full-blown confrontation until now, it was clear that their relationship was hanging by a thread. The moment Jasmine stepped into the event, the air seemed to shift. Castmates braced themselves for what felt inevitable. Jasmine's confident demeanor and sharp tongue had a way of rubbing people the wrong way, and Spice was no exception. Little did anyone know, the tension between the two was about to boil over in the most dramatic way possible. IT began with a casual comment from Jasmine. To others, it might have seemed harmless, but for Spice, it struck a nerve. Her response was immediate and sharp, making it clear she wasn't in the mood to play nice. The room's energy shifted as the two women's voices grew louder, their words more cutting. What started as a verbal exchange quickly escalated into a full-blown argument. The other cast members sat frozen, exchanging uneasy glances as the tension reached a boiling point. Some tried to intervene, but the situation was already spiraling out of control. The argument wasn't just about the comment Jasmine had made. It was about weeks of built-up frustrations on both sides. Spice's voice grew sharper, her tone more pointed. It was clear she was no longer just reacting to Jasmine's words. She was venting her emotions, frustrations, and stress from everything she had been dealing with. Jasmine, for her part, didn't back down. Her retorts were just as sharp, her words calculated to push Spice's buttons even further. The back and forth became a verbal sparring match that left everyone on edge. Then, in the heat of the moment, Spice's emotions boiled.